We need to harmonize. And this is the Mom Goals Podcast. And then you say podcast. There you go. Practice.
Girl.
Go.
Maybe
1, 2, 3.
episode.
Podcast. 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 Podcast.
And I'm Princess. And this is the Mom Goals Podcast. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I just, for some reason, thought we were still practicing.
You want to do it again?
Okay, so, no, because he can cut that part out. All right, so today we are going to be talking about getting past the overwhelm as a busy mom. And I think this topic is really important because it don't even matter how many kids you have. I guess it don't matter how many kids you have. We still have the moments where we feel overwhelmed and we are busy with the busyness of life.
Yes.
And so we want to dig in on that today just to kind of help unpack working through that and getting past it. And so when I think about being overwhelmed, I want to think about like what is causing the overwhelm. So it's like identify what that overwhelm could be exactly. Is it all the responsibilities that you have? Is it all the hats that you have to wear? Is it because you don't have support? Like realistically speaking, just you do your own assessment. Why are you overwhelmed as a mom?
Mm-hmm. Pay attention. Write it down. Like when you start to feel yourself getting frustrated throughout the day, I think it's good to take notice of that. Okay, you know what? I'm overwhelmed because I had 10 sporting activities today. Baseball, track, soccer, piano lessons. Okay, that's a bit reach.
I mean, if you got many kids, then it's very realistic.
It could be, you know. But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think that it's good to like stop and recognize those moments of what is triggering the overwhelm and the exhaustion.
Yeah. And I think so for the first point that I want to pull out is mindset. The mindset centered around the way you think and the way you're functioning, because sometimes we can get in this mindset to where we think we have to do everything ourselves. Or we think, oh, this is my responsibility, which it is. But it puts you in a faulty way of thinking that I can't call my mom to ask her something so simple like, hey, can you come over and just watch them for an hour? Or, you know, it's the way it. So what do you got to say about mindset?
I feel like we definitely mamas, especially those mamas who want to be good moms.
Right.
I want to be a good mom. And we put on this cape and we want everybody to be like, oh, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super Mom.
Right.
That's what we want people to say. Look at Super Mom over there. Wow, she's doing 100 different things all day and she never sleeps. Girl,
you ain't Jesus. You ain't God.
Yeah. And it's not cute. Yeah. That's the struggle life. I don't want to live the struggle life. I thought I did. I wanted to be Super Mom.
Yeah.
Not no more. Because it ain't cute and it's not fun. And you teaching your kids just like, I mean, you showing your kids like how not to take care of themselves and take care of everybody and put yourself completely last. And that is not, God did not intend for us to do all that. So when I was a kid, I used to, my goal, my dream. So you know how when you grow up, you know what you want to be. Maybe somebody want to be a doctor, a teacher.
Yeah.
My goal was to be a Proverbs 31 woman.
And how old was you?
Girl, I was young. I knew from, I want to say I'm not sure at what point I knew what I wanted to be, but I knew my main thing is that I wanted to be a mom, and I wanted to be a great mom. I wanted to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I actually won the Proverbs 31 woman award in camp. And don't be listen, that's how I knew. That was my confirmation. I knew, and I won a necklace that said Proverbs 31 woman. It was a dog tag necklace. Mm-hmm. I wore that necklace everywhere I went because I was so proud, because I'm like, this is who I am. However, I think back then when I used to read Proverbs 31, I wasn't reading it right. Like, I was reading it, mm-hmm. but I wasn't really examining some of the things. And so I tried to become what I thought the Proverbs 31 woman was. And then when it didn't work.
Which was what?
Which is what
did you think
the
Proverbs 31 woman was?
She woke up before the sun even came up. She cooked. She sewed her family's clothes. Like, she was making clothes. I felt like she was doing 1,000 things, and she never was idle. She never grew tired. Mm-hmm. And so when I tried to become the Proverbs 31 woman, I failed miserably. And I'm like, but God, I thought that this is what you called me to do. Why is it not working out for me? Mm-hmm. And I started to get overwhelmed. I got burnt out. I was discouraged.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I wasn't measuring up, and I wasn't good enough.
You were trying to be perfect.
I was trying to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Had no idea that I was like, I was trying to do something that was not even, it wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
It wasn't realistic. But then I realized that mm-hmm. the Proverbs 31, she had servants.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Because what people skim over, they look at all the things that were accomplished. But the key is, she did not do all of that by herself. Mm-hmm. It says that her servant girls, when we went over, or she went over the things for the day with her servant girls. Mm-hmm. They had stuff that they was doing.
Yeah.
Because how in the world were you able to go and, go check out some land for potential purpose and to purchase, and you did this and you was doing, you had people, she delegated.
Yeah.
Let's get to that point.
She delegated.
She knew how to delegate what she did not have to do. Mm-hmm. And then she did what she did have to do. And I think that's the important thing when it comes to delegation, mm-hmm. because we feel like because we are mom, we have to do it all.
Yeah.
When sometimes it's just as simple like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I actually can allow my child to learn how to have some responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Age appropriate. Okay. But introducing your children, for instance, something so simple. We call them chores. And I have a 6, a 10, and a 12-year-old right now. They all have chores. Even my 6-year-old. So what does that look like in my household? My 10 and 12-year-old, they clean up in the kitchen, right? One of them, they wipe the table down, they sweep the floor, wipe the counter and the stove. The other one will wash the dishes, dry them, and put them away. That's their job every day. Mm-hmm. Every day. Every week, they switch. They're old enough to handle that. When we first started it, I had to show them, okay, this is how you properly wash the dishes. And when I noticed that something wasn't cleaned properly, okay, let's make sure that when we wash this plate, we turn it over to get the other side. Mm-hmm. Just allowing them to help out and also learn how to take care of the home.
Yeah.
I have girls. They need to know how to wash their own dishes. You love to eat, don't you?
Right.
Now, my oldest, she likes to cook. She's to a point where she'll come home and cook her a breakfast sandwich, get her eggs, fry the eggs, get the sausage, all the things. And she'll make her own food and be just fine. Mm. My 10-year-old, she don't necessarily do all of that.
Yeah.
But I haven't encouraged her to either, as much as Paris.
I sure can't wait till my kids.
Because Paris likes to eat. Girl, and she don't want to eat no microwave food.
So
So Paris needs to learn how to cook.
Yeah.
Okay? Because mama don't feel like cooking all the time.
Yeah.
And I know when some people hear that, it may be cringing, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you don't cook for your kids every day. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, for me, I am a single mom. And I also have to be the provider for my household. Mm-hmm. And I also have other things that I have to think about and manage. And I also don't really like to cook all the time, just to be honest.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
So it's like, when I think about what we gonna eat, I do grocery shop for the month and I plan out the meals. And I'm like, okay, princess, you need to try to at least cook maybe like every other day or something like that. So maybe there can be some leftovers or something like that.
Yeah.
But I give moments where my kids can actually just, make their own self something to eat.
Yeah.
Because I want to encourage that independence within them. I don't want them to depend on me for every single little bitty thing to where I can't focus on anything. I don't know, reading my Bible. Or I'm on the computer working, or I'm on a call, and they're like, Mom, can you please make me some waffles?
Or you taking care of yourself, having some me time.
Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's like, okay, no. I'm gonna have to teach you how to do this yourself, because this is something very simple that you do not need my help with.
Right.
And I think when we understand that some stuff is so small that it's not gonna hurt if your kid learn how to do this stuff. And my 5-year-old, of course, she's responsible for cleaning up her room, which is not always the best.
Yeah.
But we're working on it. But I just recently gave her the responsibility of taking out her bathroom trash. Just get the little bag, tie it up, go put it in the kitchen trash, and put a new bag in there. Wash your hands. Because my kids also have the responsibility of cleaning their own bathroom. Yeah. And they've learned how to do it properly. So, including folding their own clothes. Now, I fold Paisley's clothes, little one. But I think when we take the pressure off of ourselves of feeling like we have to do everything. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. When I was married, it was completely different. So it was a different feel when he was no longer there. When he was no longer there, it was like taking away that support, that extra support. Because if I didn't do it, he would do it. Yeah. I may not have to fold the clothes all the time. He may actually go ahead and do the laundry for me. I come home and he already have started the laundry. And I mean, it was never no, you do this, we do that. It was just, he was, I guess, more maybe me. So I'm going to say I think he was a little bit more cleanlier than I was. So at a certain point, he may be like, you know what, I'm going to clean this bathroom today because you don't never clean it. Well, I'm sorry. I just don't want to clean the bathroom. Well, I'm glad you're doing it.
Right.
But now that he ain't here, I got to do that. So I started to realize that, look, daddy's not here, which means everything is falling on mommy's shoulders.
And that's a lot. My
kids are getting older. How is this going to work for me in this state? I don't have a lot of money. At the time, I didn't have like money to like pay people to do stuff. I had to figure out what was realistic in the moment and how can I get help in now season.
Right.
I had to allow my kids to be a little bit more independent. And then the last thing I'm going to say on this, when I was growing up, this is something that I still deal with. My mother, she cooked all the time for us. Even as adults, I'll call her, Mom, what you made what you made? I'm hungry. I don't have. Oh, okay, well, yeah, I made this pasta dish. She was always making something up. You can come over and I'll make you a plate and I'll go over there and eat. And I knew that I could always count on my mom to feed me, even as a grown-up. Sounds so childish right now.
But it's so cute,
even as a grown-up.
I love that. I wish my mama would feed me.
And it was so wonderful. My mom not here no more. She's passed away.
Yeah.
But now, as an adult, I'm hungry. But if I don't want to cook, I will literally not eat.
Wow.
That sounds so crazy. But it's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like as parents, we can enable our children from that independent mode to learn how to do some things for themselves to where they feel like, well, I need to be able to, I depend on my mom to do this for me. I don't want to do it for myself because I just don't feel like it. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm a living witness of it. Because I'm like, Princess, it ain't nothing here I want to eat. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like taking chicken out and thawing it out.
Yeah.
I don't feel like going through the motions and doing all this stuff. I just want something real quick and simple and whatever and just eat it. It's different just pulling up at mama's house and eating what she already made last night and heating it up. So simple. That ain't option. That's not an option no more.
Yeah.
So now I don't want to eat because I don't want to feed myself. How silly does that sound?
Well, at least you never mind.
Listen, I'm just being real and honest. But as somebody that has dealt, like, I can recognize that within myself.
Wow.
Like, hey, I think mom, she kind of enabled you in that a little bit. It was all in good intention. She wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah.
Like, she just want to, come on, feed you and stuff. She wasn't like, princess, you need to cook. You need to learn how to cook.
Oh, look, come over here and cook for everybody. Come over here. You want to eat? Y'all want to eat? Okay. That's my mama. I come over there. I'm hungry. Okay, what you cooking? She completely different. Because she used to people cooking for her. She don't like to cook either, but she did cook every now and then.
Yeah.
Because she had to. We didn't cook a lot. I don't remember cooking a whole lot. Like I would there was nope, never mind. I did. We used to cook for the family. We did. We used to cook for everybody. But so I definitely agree with the independence.
Yeah.
So I was the mama, especially back when I was homeschooling the kids. We didn't have to wake up super early, and sometimes I want to sleep in. I don't want to have to wake up all the time and feed the kids. And so at the time, let me see, Carter was 3, Kai was 5, Kate was 7. 3, 5, and 7. One day I woke up. I was like, I knew I was doing a good job as a mom, because one day I got up, I got out the room. I left out the room because we was in an apartment, so my room was right by the kitchen.
Yeah.
I see my 3-year-old on the counter making her some jelly toast, and I was like, I must be doing something right, because she ain't at my door crying saying, "Mama, make me something to eat." No, she knew how to get up on the counter and make her own food. And so I was like, I believe completely in the independence thing. Like, I'm definitely not the mama who. Now, I sometimes do get into that super mom mode, but for the most part, I want my kids to be independent, because I don't want them to feel like they can't do stuff or they can't eat unless mommy is there. Because again, like you said, sometimes you're working, sometimes, regardless of what you're doing, it don't matter if I just don't. I want to sit there. I just want to sit in my bed today. Yeah. I want to lay in the bed. I want to wake up late, and I was able to do it because
I definitely.
my 3-year-old was making toast. She knew how to make sandwiches.
Girl.
And but I think it's important to teach the kids to be independent, because they need to know how to live when they are without us, right? Yeah. And so delegating chores to the kids is huge. However, okay, so I'm still, there's levels to delegation. Yeah. There's levels to it. And there's levels to how you run your household and the systems. We don't have the only strict system we have is Saturday chores. So they are responsible for the entire upstairs. I don't want to touch it. There's sometimes where I will, especially if I just want to hurry up and get stuff done so that we can hang out that weekend. Then I'll do it. I'll go up there, clean it up the way I want. Because I feel like the kids don't clean perfectly. So periodically I do need to go up there and do a real good. Yeah, I need to know that, because it could be sometimes they may not clean up under the couch or the book, the shelf, and it could be food just sitting up under there rotten because they were not being meticulous like I would have been. So periodically I gotta go up there. But yeah, so as far as downstairs go, we don't have a set system yet. We don't have a set system in place. And I think it's mainly because Isaiah, since he works from home, he don't want to hear no kids down here cleaning up. Because my kids, they be fighting. They find something to fight over. Mine are too, girl. I switch it up. Okay, you do the floor. Somebody always got a problem with the chore that they have. And Isaiah is like, I go upstairs. He will tell them to go upstairs, and he will clean the kitchen himself. And I'm like, Isaiah, but they need to. No, I can't handle all of that. Yeah, they need to go upstairs. So I want to eventually, I want to have like a more set system for downstairs because I would like for, but those days to where I don't have it,
Yeah.
and I'm burnt out, I'm tired just because I didn't have enough sleep because I got a 4-month-old. It was the other day I was like, oh, my kids, they can clean up this kitchen.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, and I'll frame it in a way to, hey, listen, mommy need help. I need y'all to come downstairs because y'all, first of all, I didn't make all these dishes myself. I didn't do all, just I need y'all to come clean up downstairs, and I'm gonna go in my bed because I'm very tired.
Yeah.
I need help, and I will say that it takes vulnerability to say,
Yeah.
I can't, mommy cannot do this today.
Yeah.
I need help. So I think that's a good point, is for moms to just be
realistic,
be real
though.
and say, I can't do it. Like I can't, no. And then too with Isaiah, so when in our household, first of all, let me say this. You know how you said you're a single mom, right? And everything falls on your back. There are some mamas, and I've been there too. I've done it. I've worn the cape. There are some mamas who are not only have their whole household on their back and their kids on their back, everything, the responsibilities, but they got a man sitting there doing nothing. Don't get me started, especially with a stay-at-home moms. I think, am I still considered a stay-at-home mom?
I mean, you stay at home,
But now I'm kind of like, I'm working.
I mean, one could say that I'm a stay-at-home mom,
Right? Yeah.
But I'm an entrepreneur, so
yeah,
my kids go to school,
right. Okay, so, and I guess I still am a stay-at-home mom because for the most part, I have to look at the time. For the most part, I'm here with the little ones too. So, stay-at-home moms, I feel like we struggle because if we're not providing for our homes, then we feel like we got to do everything, that we can't ask our husbands for help because why you need, and this your job.
Yeah.
Your job is the house, so why am I helping? But to be honest, when you got especially 5 kids like me, even if you have kids and you're responsible for them kids all day, we need help. Like, we need help.
I think too that also communication is like a key point, and just being vulnerable and transparent, like in the realms of marriage, and just like, hey, can we talk about this for a moment?
Right.
Like, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling really overwhelmed with taking care of X, Y, and Z. Do you think you can maybe help me with doing the laundry on Fridays or something like that? That would really help because sometimes it's the action behind asking for that help instead of assuming that somebody is just supposed to know.
That's what we do.
That's what we assume. It's like, you should just know.
You should know that I've been tired.
Know.
And he'll be sitting on the couch. He'll be playing a video game or looking at football or whatever.
Well, why you just
And then
say
I'm
something?
walking around here with attitude.
I can't read your mind.
Be stumping. And he'd be like, just looking, what? And then sometimes he'd be like, I'm about to just keep doing what I'm doing until you stop and say, hey. But then you got to change that delivery because you're overwhelmed because of yourself, not because of him.
Right.
And so I had to realize you need to just speak up and do it in love.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you so overwhelmed. Be like, I'm so tired. All you do is sit here and do this, that, and I'm over here with these kids out. No, before it gets to that point, you need to say, okay, what's on my schedule? Okay, I gotta go take Kai to piano this day. So and so got a science project. Then I do this, do that. Okay. Oh man, I got that laundry in there. What I can look at my schedule and see what needs to be delegated. Be realistic. That's another mindset thing.
Right.
Be realistic. And say, okay, I got all of this. This is gonna be a busy week. What can I delegate? Oh, Isaiah, you could do the laundry. And also, could you be the one to take Carter to her piano lessons? And then I do this,
Yeah.
But it's that communication before the blow up, before the overwhelm even starts. You could have prevented the overwhelm. We can prevent the overwhelm when we communicate.
Also, too, like when you are married, you have to think like on a level of this. We are like a team. We're a team.
A team.
And when you think about it in a team aspect, you got your thing that you're doing. I got my thing that I'm doing. And when we do it together, that's how we can succeed together, because the ultimate goal is to get this thing done. Yeah. And so managing the household, I think that it's not just on one person. When I was married, there was a season where I'm like, I need help cooking. I know you want to, eat a hot cooked meal every day, but I don't always feel like coming home from work and cooking. We both was working.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He got home before I did. He would cook.
Yeah.
He be like, now, you just, he would give me my disclosures, but I gave him the opportunity to cook whatever he wanted to cook.
Not try to control.
Not put, like, whatever you want to cook. Like, I took some taco meat out. You think you can make the tacos for me? So it'll already be done. Because then, again, too, I don't like my kids eating late. I like for them to eat earlier on in the day, just because they have a bedtime. So I don't want them eating close to their bedtime. And I don't want no accidents at bedtime either. Yeah. But it's just like, listen, you're not the only one that has to do these things. And even outside of the realms of marriage, you have friends, you have family that you trust. I'm not talking about just anybody. Like, hey, it's okay to call your mom up or your dad or your sister and be like, hey, do you have plans this weekend? I was trying to, get away for a couple hours. I wanted to know if maybe you can come over here and keep the kids, or if I can bring them to you. You don't know what they're going to say. Yes, but because you don't ask, they're not thinking about it. I went through a season where I was like really depressed and overwhelmed because I felt like I didn't have no support. And I'm like, God, this is hard. I'm with the babies every single day. And I hear people say, I don't know how you can be with how you be with your kids all day long. I just can't do it. Because I have to. I got them from sun up to sundown, except when they go to school. Yeah. I'm the only person taking care of them. And so when I talk to my counselor about that topic, it's like, well, Princess, identify who is your village. Because back in the Bible days, when we had families and clans and things, they all lived in a village. Yeah. Their next door neighbor was their cousin, their uncle. They weren't the only ones raising their kids. Right. We don't have that now. I mean, some cultures do have a tight-knit family where they do live in close proximity. But that's not everybody. Yeah. But it's like, identify who your village is. Is that your sister? Is that your best friend? Is that your mama? Is that whoever, godmom? Who is it? Because I'm guaranteed you got at least one person that you trust your kids to be around. Yeah. And call on them. And I had to sit there and think, and I'm like, I don't have a village. It's like, okay, Princess, I want you to reevaluate the people in your life. And I was like, well, you know what? I do have my aunt. I sure do. They love being with her. But I never reach out and ask her if she would keep the kids. I let her call me and ask. They got a whole grandmama. I don't never ask her to keep the kids. I just let her reach out. Yeah. And that's the problem. So it's like, Princess, this is what my counselor told me. She said, let's start with trying to get one day out the whole month where the kids can go somewhere else and you can just do whatever it is that you need to do. Yeah. Just one day. And then maybe move to twice a month, every other weekend or something like that. But you got to be the one to communicate that you need that support and that help. Because here's the other thing. People are living their lives. They're not focused on what you have going on. They don't know what your daily life looks like. They know when they talk to you, and if you mention it, then they be like, oh, dang, I didn't even realize that. You want me to keep the kids this weekend? That's because you were on the phone talking about it. You probably need somebody to keep the kids every weekend for the whole, for the next 3 months, because you need time to get yourself together.
When you are so one thing that I was thinking about is when you put on that cape, that super mom cape. Yeah. Everybody thinks that sometimes people think that you have it all together.
Exactly. They're like, oh, she good.
Oh, she good. She don't need my help. I was talking to, should I say, well, it don't matter. My mama, she need to be listening to the podcast, but she don't.
Oh, Lord.
But, so I'm a twin. Y'all know, if you don't know yet, I'm a twin. Yeah. And my sister, she's always been good at asking for what she wants. Me, I don't. And I'm the sister who seems, like I do a lot. To be honest, like I do quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so everybody sees it and say, oh yeah, wow, Camry got it together. Oh, I come to her house, it's clean. She got it together.
Yeah.
They looking at just certain things and saying, oh yeah, she good. When they on the phone, I don't really show overwhelm. And then sometimes now because Supermom, they, even if I'm overwhelmed, they be like, oh, she'll be all right. She'll be, oh, girl, you good. That's what my mama say. So after I had baby number 5, and I got 5 kids, 5, that's a lot of kids, okay? After I had the baby, and I said something, I said, Mama, how come, after my sister had baby number 3, I think, and 4, my mama was in Shreveport helping her. They helped her clean after baby number 3.
Yeah.
They went down and watched the kids and helped her with the kids after baby number 4.
Yeah.
You think anybody came over here to help me, to even see about me? Are you okay? No. Yeah. But because I have put on this act as if I always have it together and I don't need help when I be over here struggling. And so I said, why? How come it seemed like you always going down there to help Kia? That's my twin sister's name. You seem like you always going down there to help Kia. She said, and I said, but have you realized? I was just joking. I was saying it jokingly, like trying to be all lighthearted about it. I said, you realize you never came over here and helped me after I had the kids? And she said, girl, because you good. Like, you don't need no help. Girl, you don't need no help. And I'm just like, but I do. Like, I be over here struggling. I've gone through depression, like bad.
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety. Nobody knows. And I used to get mad. I used to have an issue with my mama. Every time she called me, I got an attitude. She has no idea why I'm acting like this towards her. Yeah. No idea. The whole time I'm mad. Now I'm the victim because she should have known that I need help. You know I got all these kids. You should have just offered to help. No, that was not her job. It was my job to be honest and say, I need help. Can you please help me? Please, like I am struggling. Isaiah is working. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm homeschooling at that. I'm expected to keep up with the kids' education, to keep up with the cleanliness of my home, to cook.
It's a full-time
job. To deal with, to be available for my husband.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'd be like,
I'm tired.
Look, I got a headache tonight again. Yeah. But it's like, that's a lot. Wearing a cape is not helping anybody because now the way that you're showing up, the way that I was showing up for my kids, it was exhaustion. I was tired. Mommy, can we do this? No, I don't feel like it. I got an attitude now. Yeah. I got an attitude with everybody. I'm not showing up as the mom, as the wife that I want to be because I carried the entire home on my back.
And we weren't designed to carry the load by ourselves.
We were not. But somehow society, somehow this lie.
Even the Bible says that we are to carry each other's burdens.
Yeah.
But it's our job to open up our mouths. So if you see somebody that's in need, you should help them if you have the means to. The Bible talks about how that's wrong. Yeah. Don't just say, oh, girl, I'm going to pray for you and all that stuff. When you know good dang on well that you have the means to actually help them physically. Yeah. That's just like in the Bible where Paul talks about if somebody says that, they cold and they hungry, and I'm just going based on memory. I don't remember exactly word for word what it says to give that disclosure. But he was talking to the people, the church. If somebody's like, I'm cold and I'm hungry, and you say, oh, well, I'm gonna pray for you. I pray that you get all that stuff. But you have the means to put something on their back and give them something to eat.
Why would you not?
Why would you not do that? Sometimes, that's the thing. So that's one side of it. And the other side is, as the person in the position, you have the responsibility to open up your mouth and communicate with the people in your village that you need help and support. Like you said, your mom thought that you're good. Yeah. You good. Over here, it don't look like y'all need nothing. You look like y'all got it going on. Y'all got it together. You know what I'm saying? There's no need. I see no need. You can't see a need because I haven't exposed you to the need that's there.
And because I'm working so hard to cover it up.
So because you covering things up and you're not willing, because some people have an issue with asking for help, this a hard thing for them to do. It's like, how do you overcome the overwhelm? By overcoming the pride in the way of you asking for help, which is basically when I say getting rid of the pride is admitting to yourself and to somebody else that you don't have it all together.
Yeah.
It's admitting to somebody else that you need help. Because that even goes back to our relationship with God. When we surrender, that's like, God, I can't do this by myself.
Right. When we
I
realize
need
that,
you. That's
not do it.
In the same context. We were not designed to do life by ourselves. And when we try to do it, we run into these issues of, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Oh, I'm so stressed. Oh, I just wish somebody would. Oh, I just da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? You are responsible to communicate those pieces. And when somebody sees and they are able to help, you're also responsible for accepting the help. Because how many times does somebody be like, oh, okay, well, how are you? Do you need anything? Can I get you some groceries? You, no. I'm fine. Well, I can come over one day and watch the kids or, help you fold the clothes. Oh, girl, no.
I couldn't. No,
and it's like, sis, stop it. Accept the help because you need it. That's put the pride aside. Take the facade off. We don't need for you to put on your front face like I got it all under control, because that's the very face that's stopping people from helping you in the first place.
So should I just mess my hair up, don't put no makeup on?
No, it's
and
just it's just like,
I just can't do it.
Hey, and that don't mean go on a pity party,
yeah.
and you just complaining every time you talk to somebody, trying to get them to just offer to help. Like, okay, well, next time somebody asks me, do I need help? I'm just gonna say yeah, but I'm gonna insinuate, be like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch all this. I don't have time, and and this and that. And it's like, okay, don't do that.
I've tried that too. Don't work.
Just stop. Just be straightforward. Just be straightforward and be like, hey, do you think you would be able to do this for me? And if they say no, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That don't mean that's the only person. Like if you literally only have one person to go to, if they say no, okay. This is what you need to ask God. God, I pray that you send me a godly community in this season to help me raise my children.
I love
because
that.
I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
Just like Moses took it back to God when he said, this burden is too big for me to bear by myself. He had to carry the load of thousands upon thousands of people.
You can kill me. He said I can.
He was ready to die. He wanted to go to heaven. He like, listen, I can't do this by myself. And what did God do? Because Moses opened up his mouth and told God what he needed. God provided what he needed.
Yeah.
Because he came and he admitted to God that he can't do it by himself. So he said, okay, this is what you do. You go and get 70 members and all that stuff. And they put people in certain positions and they gave rules and boundaries and guidelines and all that stuff. And Moses got his help. Yeah. He wouldn't have gotten it if he didn't open his mouth. And so I think that's key.
Yeah, it is.
Because it goes, mindset and delegation goes together on both aspects, because you need both. It's a mindset to be able to delegate to somebody. Yeah. Because if I can't possibly delegate this to nobody, even when it comes to hiring help, if you can afford to pay somebody to come and clean your house once a month or once a week or whatever have you, and you know that that's not going to put you in a bind financially, then do it. Yeah, that's the realization that I got. So I've prayed because I always felt like I needed more of a community. Like I really wanted people around me that I felt comfortable with watching my kids. I prayed, I said, God, and I knew that it was going to come from a church home. I still haven't fully accepted the women that God has put around me, but they did do a meal train. My first experience with actually like a community and people helping. After I had the baby, I was like I was literally in tears. Like, these women are coming to my house, home cooked meals. Everything was good, and if they didn't have home cooked meals,
then they were bringing like stuff from restaurants, like some good food, and I was so grateful.
Yeah.
Because if they would have asked, I'd be like, oh no, I'm good, knowing good and well I'm not good. But so me having that community, praying for God to bring the community. Also, part of my prayers was, God, give me the means to be able to hire help.
Yeah.
I know that eventually, I've been talking about this. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have heard me talk about this as a nanny. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have been praying and asking God. So I know that when the time comes to where I completely need it, because I'm a big believer. If I don't have it, then I don't need it right now. Mm-hmm. And so when that time comes, I'm believing for God to provide for us to be able to have a nanny, for us to, and then also, so this week, when was we talking? That was last weekend. And I started to get overwhelmed, and I was in my feelings because I was like, I got to do this, but I really need to sit down and get on my computer and go work.
Yeah.
But I also have the home, and I was in my feelings, and I remember, like, I was sitting there. I went in my closet because me and Isaiah, we were talking, and we kind of got into a little disagreement. He didn't agree with something that I said. I went to my closet because the Holy Spirit said, "Be quiet, don't go to the closet."
Yeah. And
so I went to my closet. I didn't even start praying. I just sat there in silence, and I just let God talk to me because I knew that He wanted to love on me in that moment to where I was not feeling great.
Yeah.
And what God was showing me was that, you remember when you prayed and you asked for an increase in your income, that you asked to be able to hire help. Mm-hmm. Why are you sitting here now playing the victim? Because your husband, he was working right now.
Yeah. And
you're looking for him to be like, oh, to agree with you on this but he said, you prayed. If you believe that you were, that I was going to provide, why are you not getting the help?
Yeah.
And because to me, so that sometimes we get into this scarcity mindset, or where we want to hold on. And that's what I was realizing. Yeah. It's like, you want to hold on. If you prayed and asked for me to do something, why didn't you do it? Why are you not doing it? Mm-hmm. You could have been done it. Yeah. To be honest, even when we didn't have much, if I really wanted it and I trusted God, I could have done it, because I could have budgeted, stopped spending in other areas where it didn't need.
Priorities.
I thought, because I kept thinking, oh no, I just need to be rich. Okay, I need a whole bunch of money to be able to do this. No, my priorities wasn't in the right place, and I didn't trust God. Yeah. And so now God is like, okay, because now we got a budget going on. I got my own money, and now I'm holding on to it. No, I don't want to. I said, do you have it? Can you do it? Yeah. Can you skip Starbucks and Target? Mm-hmm. You definitely can do it. So anyway, I decided that, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hire help, because I know in this season I'm needing it. Yeah. And it makes more sense. Maybe before it didn't make as much sense. Now that I've taken on entrepreneurship, and I still have kids at home. I got 5 kids now. It is not realistic for me to raise 5 kids, have my house, and especially the way that I want it, because I could let it go. And some weeks I do. But I don't. I know that my husband ain't happy. I'm not happy. It's causing too much tension. I feel like I can show up better for my home, for my husband, for my kids, if I had help in the area. Yeah. And there's people who, they looking for people to clean it. That's their job. That's how they making their money. Mm-hmm. And so I have the opportunity to even be a blessing to somebody else. Say, hey, girl, can you come clean my home? That's somebody, they'd be like, this is such a blessing. Wow. Thank you. And so I'm hiring help. I don't know if it's probably gonna be this weekend, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm not gonna sit here and have that scarcity mindset. I'm gonna trust God, that He's going to always provide everything that I need. Yeah. So,
the last thing I'm gonna say about this whole topic of overcoming the overwhelm, of course, we got the mindset, we've got delegating, but I think also too, we need to steward well what God has given us. Yes. Because even when it comes to our finances, if we are not stewarding what we already have, that's good. Then why should we expect to receive more of anything? Yeah. So even being in the position to be able to afford to actually pay somebody to help you out, that's wonderful. But when I heard you say, why haven't you done it? Because God provided. It's because you didn't want to let go. It's just like the children of Israel when God gave them manna.
Yeah.
He told them, only get what you need. They was stocking up. And what happened? It rotted.
Yep.
They did not follow the instruction. It's like getting out of that scarcity mindset. Like, okay, I told God this is what I wanted. When he provided, I went a different way and I just kept it with my closed fist. You can't receive with your hands closed.
Yeah.
So if this is a season where I need to be responsible with my resources that God has provided and I can hire somebody to help me, then do that.
Yeah. And if it ain't the season,
Then
that's
do
okay.
that.
Yeah.
And then also prioritize. And get your thoughts out of your head. Write it down. What do you have to do? Because sometimes we make it seem like we got so much to do and really we don't. You be like, oh, I gotta, my whole day finna be filled with just doing all this stuff.
We had these conversations.
And
I
it's
tell
like,
you that.
can you like stop and pause for a minute and actually get it out of your head and write it down so you can see it? Okay, I gotta fold the clothes today. I need to go grocery shopping. I need to tend to little Bill. I need to whatever.
Little Bill.
Little Bill. I thought about that card. Anyway, moving on. Once we get it out of our head and we actually see what we're working with, some of that stuff don't have to be done that day.
Oh, girl.
Some of that stuff you don't have to do. Some of that stuff don't need to be done at all. It's just something that you put a high preference on for some strange reason because you feel like it's necessary to go and wash the fences off. I don't know. I'm just
no. I do that. I do the exact same thing. I'd be like, why was I stressing out over?
Sis, it's not that crucial.
It didn't even need to be done.
And sometimes we put an expectation on ourselves and it's like, yo, I need to do all this stuff. And then when you look at all the stuff you need to do, I guarantee you there's going to be something that you can remove off that list. There's going to be something that does not need a high priority label on it. There's going to be something that you do need to get done right now. And there's going to be something that you don't have to do yourself that you can allow your children to help you with or somebody else to help you with, however that looks like. So it's recognizing those things when it comes to getting past the overwhelm. God did not create us to be overwhelmed.
Right.
If you overwhelmed with something, it's because there's a problem and you need to identify where it's coming from.
You're out of alignment. You
are out of alignment. And life ain't always gonna be peachy and all that stuff. We're gonna have problems that come. So take heart. Jesus already told us that. So that don't mean that your life is just supposed to be easy. But we are responsible for managing our lives. We can't. The unexpected is always going to happen. We have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
But what we already know we have to do is the part that we need to plan. And stop jam-packing your schedule every single day.
Girl, listen, when I create the Mind Bible, and I used to be trying to fill every line up with everything. And I said, what in the world am I doing? Why would I think that I could get all of this done in a day? And so when I have my Mind Bible, and if everything ain't done, I'm like, oh, I failed. So the second Mind Bible, that's why I made the to-do list is very short. You can't write a whole bunch of stuff in there. I actually did that intentionally.
Yes.
Because we do that. But you know what? Last thing is that you good with that writing it down, because when we talk, and I be like, oh my gosh, and I gotta do this, and the first thing. Anybody, if you ever have a conversation with Princess and you over here talking about, and I really want to do this and I need to do that, and then the first thing that she's going to say, write it down. Did you write it down? Write it down. And I'd be like, it'd be like and I've done it multiple times. I'm like, it's like wow, write it down. Even though I know you just told me this yesterday. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thank you so much. Write it down. Write that stuff down and be realistic. And you always talk about stewardship. Yeah. Finances, time.
It's something that unlocks in your brain when you write down the things that's in your head. Because for me, it's like, okay, I think I got a lot of stuff going on, but it's just floating in my head. It's just floating in my head. Floating. My thoughts are not focused on anything specific. It's just like, oh, I got just so much, so I'm not going to do anything. Yeah. And because I got so much to do, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm shutting myself down when I feel overwhelmed. But when I write it down, I can see exactly what I have. And it's like, okay, that's manageable. All right, I don't have to do this today. It does something for my brain. It's like calming that comes over me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's I feel like that's key. So if you're not writing nothing down, write it down.
Write it down. Get you a mom Bible too, girl. Write it down in your mom Bible. Okay. You write your schedule and your to-do list. Okay. Anyway, so I guess that is all for today's episode. Isaiah, are we doing good? Okay. Isaiah is just like, I don't know what sign language you over there doing, but I got it. I got it. So anyway, that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to
the Mom Goals podcast. Be sure to let us know what you think in the comments too.
Yes.
What are some tips that you can share with another mom about how you overcome overwhelm in the business of life?
Yeah, and how do you delegate? Do you delegate? Can you start delegating? If you ain't delegating, tell us, I guess, right, tell us how you, like, what did we say that resonated with you that you want to start implementing in your home?
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we will see y'all in the next episode. Make sure to subscribe and follow the show if you're listening on the podcast. All right.
Bye.
Bye.